Adios, Mexico. The battle is moving to the U.S. Queen of the South fans, you're not going to want to miss this episode recap, so stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, clapping going? No, I'm not going to clap.
I love this song though. It makes me
such
want to go.
Powerful, like you
I
just
run to
wanna,
this
like,
song.
Exactly, you want to run. You just want to like take over everything.
Yeah. So
there was a
Kanye.
lot of taking over this episode.
Yes.
It was the best.
It
Yeah.
was like a sleight of hand back and forth between both parties. It was crazy.
I didn't know where it was going. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Leslie Ambriz. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at In Less Than No Time. Today we're going to be recapping episode 7, El Precio de la Fe. These Queen of the South writers just get better and better with each episode. And today, to talk and share her own amazing opinions, because you know she's got them. Here's Candice Cruz, guys.
Hey guys, thanks for that introduction,
Yeah,
Leslie.
of
I love
course.
it. What's up, AfterBuzzers? My name is Candice Cruz, and you can find me on all of my social media at Candice R. Cruz.
Hey, we're coming in strong today. I
Yeah,
feel
we are. The
very
power.
empowered, exactly,
Yes.
which is why we chose this song.
Very
I mean, we
applicable.
had, okay, the entire series always, let me know if you caught these themes, covers loyalty, family, and power the entire time. I feel like those are not only themes within, like, I guess, like, drug cartels, but they're also, like, oh, that was a weird thing to say, but they're also, like, heavy themes within Mexican culture, especially family, loyalty, and making sure that power doesn't get in the way of these two. But with this episode, we're seeing it does get in the way to the extremes of kind of causing people to want to kill each other. What did you think of those themes within the episode?
I completely agree with all of that. I think it's interesting the way that loyalty is so almost exploited at times in this episode as well. It's very much like, you know, when negotiations come to it and they are talking about loyalty being like, how much does my loyalty actually cost? That was a big like conversation throughout the whole episode, but it was interesting to see not only two storylines, but also the underlying plot with the Colonel as well. So it was very interesting to see the two power struggles between Epifanio and Camila, and then obviously the Colonel kind of sneaking another there. So yeah.
No, I don't think he's sneaking. He's coming full force, but everything he does is always to the extreme. He's like that really dramatic friend that like he gets like stung by a bee and he's like on the floor as if someone just shot him. Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yep,
like
it's
in
him.
terms of killing people, which is more intense. Let's talk about Epifanio for a second, because I feel like so far we've kind of had a big mix of characters in the last few episodes, but then last episode we had an arc for Teresa and Isabela, and then now we're getting more of Epifanio's story, which I really enjoy that they're kind of breaking it down just because there's so many characters. We learn about why he started getting into like cartels and drugs and how that happened. The little flashback.
It was so beautiful the way that they shot it, and it was so like spot on. Like to see him, because I feel like, I mean, Latino families are very like about loyalty, but they're also very emotional, and family is everything. And to see him really like tap into that and share that like part of himself to his daughter was just, it was gorgeous. Like, and all the shots, the way that they did it was great.
Oh yeah. I mean, and it humanized him to the extreme.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I haven't really felt bad for him so much. Maybe that one scene where they played the song at the wedding and
That's
he
the
was
only
kind of
time.
distraught. Yeah. That was the only time I was like, oh no, like his pride, I kind of feel bad. But with this one, I was like, oh, like there's a reason. Like he was actually a good kid and not what you would assume somebody who's the kingpin, you know, of all this cocaine, the leader of this cartel. You would assume that maybe he was kind of the kid that got in trouble in class all the time, or the one that didn't listen to his parents and went out and got involved with gangsters. But it was actually him trying to provide a better life that got him in that situation.
to survive.
To survive,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and it definitely, just like adding some life application to it, I felt that it really like makes you think of like, hey, like don't judge someone just by what they do necessarily. Like get to know why it is that they do what they do.
And it was almost admirable. Of course, like the cartel is not, you know, the best job in the world for us to like, you know, aspire to be.
Yeah.
But whatever it was, he went from nothing and worked his way up to the top at whatever field he was. So that alone, regardless of what the field was, I think is very admirable to see him come from literally nothing and finding his parents dead to completely building an empire and making himself a self-made millionaire in Mexico. And I think that that's like, you know, kudos to him. So it did humanize him a lot. I completely agree with that.
But then we get the end of the episode that was like, oh, nope, there he is. There's Epi.
There's those
the
eyes that he
craziness.
had in that camera.
But I really like that. I mean, that all sparked from Isabela receiving El Santos logo necklace and him seeing that picture with her and Kike in the text.
Which was a cute picture.
It was a cute picture. They make a great couple.
Great couple.
It's amazing. Can we also get the live chat up? I'd love to see what people are saying about our conversation.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. They're so cute though.
They are. And I like that Isabella's finally finding her like own way, you know?
Her cartel prince.
Prince and princess.
Narcos. Is it príncipe? Is that?
Principesa is what he.
But for the male, is it príncipe?
Oh, I don't know.
The Narcos prince. We'll stick in English
for
safety reasons because I don't want to say it wrong.
Should I Google it?
If you want, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to Google it while we keep talking.
To the side. But I mean, I like the point that she made because what happens is, if you guys didn't watch the episode, Epifanio takes Isabela to the Vargas farm, which is where he grew up, which is where he kind of had to survive because gangsters would come over to the land. The way that he survived was that he would sell marijuana.
Principe. You're right.
Príncipe, there we go.
Okay.
He would grow marijuana on the farm, and then that's how he got El Cocodrilo to kind of leave him alone, and that's how he repaid him. And then they kind of imply, I don't know if it was like a strong, like, yeah, he did it, or if it was more of a, we'll hear about it later, imply that Epifanio got rid of El Cocodrilo.
I think he did.
When he was older, yeah.
I don't think it was an implication. I think it was like very upfront that
I wrote
he did
in my notes, I was like, wait, so he did kill him? Like, I didn't know if that was an implication.
I think they shot simultaneously to the point where he was saying that he ran him out of town, and that like smirk on his face of almost like, I'm trying to protect her, but I really know what happened. I think he did kill him.
There we go.
Yeah.
Didn't catch that. I'm glad you're here, Candice. It makes it perfect. But even going into that whole situation, back to Kike and Isabela, I like that she mentioned like, well, he's like the son of a cartel leader. I'm the daughter of a cartel leader. Like, why are you making such a big deal about it?
Yeah.
Which I think speaks volumes to her relationship at this point with Epifanio. Like, she's not going to listen to him. She doesn't care what's happening. She says that his business is her cocodrilo. Which, you know, Isabela is just long gone from being the cute little innocent girl. And I'm really excited. Oh, go ahead. You want to say something?
No, I was just going to say she's a smart girl. Like, she's a very intelligent young woman. And I think at that point, when you're raised in such a way that you're sheltered, that she just now found out about this, leads me to assume that she was a very sheltered girl. You know, eventually you're going to break out of that and you're going to create your own opinions and your morals and everything else. And I think she's trying to go down the best path possible to survive on her own. So yes, I do agree with like her whole like conversation of like, your business is my crocodile.
Yeah. Do you think that method of survival will possibly be to join in with the family?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
I think especially the way of her way of life that she's grown so accustomed to, and just things that you intuitively pick up on as a child of like how your parents run business and how they interact and the social cues and whatnot. Like, it's almost going to be easy for her, I would assume. And I think that would just be, you know, the best possible thing. I mean, skip college, go straight to cartel.
There you go, making that money.
Make that money.
Don't need to stay up late writing papers. Just kidding, don't do that.
Stay in school, kids. Stay in school.
Oh, bad advice over here. Oh my God. But I mean, I love that this whole episode surrounds Epifanio. So Isabela does get the necklace because Camila did business with El Santo, as we saw in the last two episodes in Bolivia. Damn. I didn't think, I mean, I knew that Isabela was a weakness for Epifanio, but I feel like the writers completely turned it this episode and made that what empowered him and like what brought him over Camila.
Yes
Did you
and
see
no.
that? Okay.
Yes and no, because at the same time, again, Camila, she's a badass girl.
Oh yeah.
Because she knew she ultimately had the whole upper hand the whole time. Yes, at the expense of a couple of her business partners. A large dispense of them. But, you know, she ultimately knew what Epifanio's weakness was. And as much as he thinks he's overcoming, I think she still has the upper hand.
Really? See, I thought that throughout the episode, and especially when we had her on the phone with him and then explained to Teresa that she's the one that sent the necklace.
Yes.
But it was at the end when I saw him with the DA, like going through with that partnership, that I was like, oh, he has a lot of people on his side that also want Camila dead, and she doesn't have as many that are willing to overpower Epifanio. So I kind of saw, that was where I saw the power struggle of like, you thought somebody was higher than the other, and then it ends with him being at the top. I mean, which of course, Queen of the South, I don't think he's going to end there. He's going to
end very well,
Yeah, it's not going to end well for him. But at this point, that's where I see him, is like, Camila thought that, my opinion, Camila thought that it was a weakness for him, but it ended up driving him to the top.
Okay.
So for like,
I can totally see that.
A split 5 seconds, it was like, yes, girl, like you sent that necklace, damn, like nobody expected it, but then quickly turns around.
Okay, I see that. I see that. But at the same time, and I feel like because of Epifanio not wanting anything to happen to Camila, I think that's still going to be his weakness. I think as much as Isabella's his weakness, I think Camila is still his weakness.
Oh, yeah,
because... As much as he's fighting her, it's like, I'm the only one that gets to deal with her. No one else gets to have her.
Don't touch her.
I get to do it, and that's it. So I think that's one of his other things. But yeah. Okay, we'll give you the win for now, Epifanio. We'll give you the W for now.
Give you the W. Look at you, all trendy.
I try. You know, with my trendy little vest.
Trying to be relevant. You know, you gotta stay. You gotta stay there.
Relevant.
Exactly.
You got to.
You gotta keep up with all that slang. Anyways. But speaking of more power struggles, El Coronel.
Yes.
He's going full force. You know, But I like the line relating to what we were talking about before, is that he's like, Camila Vargas is just going to continue. She's going to continue to push forward. We have to get rid of her. Like, we're going to end her. Oh. And Epifanio tells him, like, do what you need to do, but don't touch my wife.
There is no hurting Camila.
There we go. No hurting Camila. No touching Camila. No hurting Camila.
But do you think Epifanio knows that the Colonel has attacked all of these, like, former members of, like, his distributors? Like, he said to get rid of him, but, like, I don't know.
I think he knows.
He knows that they're dead? Okay.
I think he knows that they're dead. He doesn't know how they're dying and what exactly is going on.
And I'm sure he probably don't want to know.
No. You know, he doesn't care. As long as the job is done. Yeah. You send out the hit and you wash your hands clean. They're not clean, but that's how they run things.
Wait, who do we have in there tonight? I can't read that.
Let's see. Mandy88 says, didn't he chop him up with the machete? Yeah, talking about El Cocodrilo. Yes. That was the feel that I got, because he was all bloody, had the machete in his hand. Stabbed him.
What is that song? The horror movie song? Yes.
Yeah.
I was trying. Didn't work out.
If they want to make the show into a comedy, just add those like signals in it. Well, like, you can, like, edit it and, like, dub that over.
We should do a parody of it.
There we do. We'll film a whole one.
We'll film a whole parody over top of Queen of the South.
Oh, my God. That'd be... No one would watch that.
No.
We'd lose. We'd lose viewers. We might already be. Anyways.
Oh, no. I'm going to be quiet now.
I'm joking. No, I'm joking. Please, everyone. You guys are amazing. Please, I know you guys comment on the YouTube comments and stuff, but, like, if you guys want to join us on the live chat, it's a lot more fun because we can interact with you in real time, instead of just reading the comments and then talking about it later in the next episode. So get on up there, join Mandy so she's not alone. But El Coronel, you know, he's continuing. He's not sidesteps, but oversteps with Epifanio. And
when does he not, though?
He always does.
Always.
He freaking killed Batman.
That just sounds so wrong.
I know.
He killed Batman.
He killed Batman, which I like. side story. I was looking through the Queen of the South writer's Twitter.
Yeah.
And you know when James is eating the taco in the scene, they wrote, "How can anyone like enjoy tacos after what happened to Batman?" And I was like, "That's brilliant. That's so funny." I meant to
You should start
you,
making memes of all of that stuff.
I
So
think
good.
people are on it on Twitter. I'm gonna like scroll
Yeah.
through after and like read all of them because people's like the gifs. Is it
Speaking-
GIF?
I say GIF.
GIF. We'll say
Whatever.
GIF. The GIFs that they use are hilarious to describe the scenes
The
going
people
on.
on Twitter, though, like, the conversations, man, these fans are amazing.
Yeah.
'Cause they get into
Going
it.
back, you guys, dang, I like
woke up the
interacted.
next
I
morning.
forgot I'm so sorry. I forgot your Twitter name and I can't look it up right now. But like she was on it. She had all these theories that were
So
amazing.
good.
That's so intense, so detailed that at some point I'm like, dang, like I want to.
Right? We need to have them on the show.
We need to have you guys, but you're on the show, on the live
Right
chat.
now,
we
see?
shout out your names. There we go. We have yes, we are here every Thursday. Ty Crump asking us
They
how many
fed Batman
times we're here.
tacos. No, that was deep. We like to go deep here on this show.
We are.
Thank
We're
you for
super
joining
deep.
us, Ty. We go deep.
Oh, that sounds strange.
Oh,
Anyways.
Changing subject.
Changing back. So we got way off topic. You guys are amazing on Twitter. Please keep it up. Send us those theories. And going back to El Coronel, you know,
Yes.
he sends for Octavio, who is supposed to be one of Michelangelo's men.
Which I don't think he actually
He
was.
wasn't. He
No,
was
no,
one
no.
of
He
El
was a
Coronel's men.
pretending,
Yeah, like
yes.
a hitman. So he comes over, pretends he's like, oh yeah, let's talk about the coke, because he's trying to get intel on
Where
it's at, how they got it out of Bolivia, like what's going on. Which I thought it was weird. I feel like El Coronel already knows where they got it from through talking to Epifanio. Doesn't he know that it's El Santo?
Oh, of course. I don't think that they. I think he was just trying to like get them to start talking about things to figure out where it would be and like gain their trust.
More
and
of the like
yeah.
where it was being distributed
logistics.
to. Okay, because at first I was like, wait, is this is kind of a stupid setup?
Right.
Like, why would you need to know? Okay, things that I miss. But he, you know, his plan was for Octavio to kill Teresa and Camila. So I was like, oh damn.
See, he's overstepping his bounds.
This guy is pushing the limits even more.
Because he knows if Camila's gone, like, what is Epifanio going to do?
Yeah, but I feel like if Camila is gone, Epifanio, we're going to see, we've seen like somewhat of a like, what's the word I'm looking for? We've seen someone of like a strong version of Epifanio, but not so much like a hands-on strength from him.
Right.
And I feel like if Camila's dead, that wrath and that revenge that we see in other characters, that we saw in Teresa, that we're seeing in Alonso, who we'll talk about in a second, like all these people close to them are dying, people that meant so much to them, and now they're going full force with the revenge. I feel like that would happen with Epifanio and El Coronel.
Oh, I think so too. And it was kind of going back to the whole conversation with like the negotiations with Camila and Teresa. I loved the way that Camila was almost like somehow guiding her through all these negotiations. It was so like a boss woman moment that I just had to touch on it because I love watching them.
No, let's
like,
talk about it.
The way that Camila's talking about you know, knowing, never going to business with someone without knowing their weakness, and how intuitive and how distinct she is down to the wire of like what everybody's little weakness is, whether it's like Ki-moon's weakness for family and completely negotiating only with family and loyalty and trust and that type of angle, versus you go for the other guy, Michelangelo, and he's OCD and he will never shake hands, and this is like everything has to be clean. And it was just fascinating to me to see how in depth she goes and that she's teaching Teresa all of her ways.
Yeah. Little by little, she doesn't realize that we know, but she don't know that don't give the advice, Camila, you're gonna get overpowered.
Yep, real quick. And we don't even know how yet. All we know is that, you know, Teresa in the white suit, she's coming.
It's coming soon. We didn't see her this episode.
No,
at all.
she's more sporadic in this season than she was in first season. I feel like she was a lot more prevalent.
Yeah, I feel like we'll only see her in episodes that are specifically catered to Teresa's character and finding out more about her story.
Yeah.
She was kind of Teresa was kind of a supporting character in this episode, I feel like.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah.
We got her story, but they're like, y'all saw enough of her in the last two. let's give somebody else a chance.
Give some love into Epifanio.
Yeah. We got a lot of loving. Oh my gosh. We have Mandy back on the chat saying, I don't think the Coronel is content with being Epifanio's number 2.
Oh no.
He's too ambitious. I think he'll eventually take out Camila, finally putting him at odds with Epifanio. And then we have Forsyth Pazdalski, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, saying, I think the end of El Coronel will be when he goes too far with Camila or Isabella. Exactly.
I think so too. And also going back to what Mandy's saying too, if we think back a couple of episodes ago when they were at the wedding, Camila's already noticed this and sniffed this out about the Colonel. I don't think that she's like going to take it lightly. I think she's already got her protection, like her protective guard up. So I don't know if the Colonel could actually really touch her just yet either.
With Camila?
Yeah. Because she even made a comment to Epifanio saying, hey, I can smell his ambition from over here.
Yeah.
So I think she's very well aware that his number 2 is not wanting to stay number 2 for very long.
You know what would be interesting is if instead of seeing like a battle between Epifanio and Coronel, that Teresa kind of takes him out before he even gets a chance to try that.
Ooh, I wasn't thinking that. I was going with you and then you lost me, but I like that one better.
I would say Camila, but I think we saw that Camila's smart and a very intelligent woman, but Teresa's smarter and way more strategic and intelligent than she is. And we saw that with Octavio because Camila was ready to do business. She was sitting there ready to talk, and Teresa's like just steps over her in a good way though and saved her life and is like, this guy's trying to kill you, like get out of here. I even like wrote in my notes like this is a turning point. We're seeing Teresa's strengths and we're seeing that Camila's not matching up to that.
Yeah. And even whenever she was talking with James later on in the episode where he's like, this isn't like you, like it's messy. What is going on? And she got very defensive and rightly so. I'd be defensive too, but defensive saying, you know what, if it's messy, I'll clean it up. Like I always do. But we have noticed her slip a little bit here and there lately.
Which I think not only is Isabella a weakness, but so is pride. I mean, I know that's like 99% of the population's weakness, but it's even more extreme with her to the point where, like you said, James is calling it out. We're seeing it in the fact that she could have just backed down in certain situations that would possibly save her life, but she's choosing to continue going. She's very stubborn. There we go. Stubborn and prideful. So, Camila, please stop. Girl, I'm trying to root for you. What's that, like Tyra? Like, we were rooting for you.
We were rooting for you. It didn't work.
It didn't work out at all. And then another person that's coming into power is Alonso Loya, the DEA agent. He's now in charge, the head of the task force that's going against Camila. And it looks like he has... Let me know if you think this is... I'm kind of mixing in a prediction. If Kellyanne is going to join over with the DEA. We saw her being super loyal to Teresa when Alonso brings out the pictures and she's like, oh, I've never seen these people in my life. I don't know who they are. Lies, girl, you partied with them a few weeks ago.
Right? You wanted to have like brunch and all that good stuff, all the girly things with her.
But then all of a sudden now she's calling Teresa over and invites her, which I thought she was just going to let her know what was going on. Like,
I thought she was going to sell her out and have the DEA waiting.
Oh, really?
That's what I thought.
Oh, I was rooting for her in a good way. I was like,
oh, she's calling the DEA. Damn it, she's going. We're going to have a fight on our hands.
Oh, I was like, okay, Kellyanne, like she's going to let Teresa know the DEA is on them and the lawyer and knows about what's going on. But no,
we were both wrong.
Yeah, we were both completely wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
And it goes to another story, which I never thought was going to be brought up at all. I thought it was just kind of like a side story with Camila sleeping with Cole Van Auken, the lawyer. Kellyanne knows. And she says, like, there was a line that she says, like, you understand what position I'm in as his wife?
Wait.
Kellyanne tells Teresa when she says, I know like what position this puts you in, like me asking you because of Teresa's loyalty to Camila. But then she says, but I hope you understand. I'm probably like misquoting it, but it's something along the lines of, I know you'll understand like what position this puts me in as his wife.
Yes.
And so what I see happening, there's so many things were set up in this episode. But what I see happening is Kellyanne's going to find out that Teresa's lying to her. That's going to put her at odds with them. She's no longer going to have that loyalty with them and jump over to the DEA and maybe become their informant.
Are you on the ball
annoying.
tonight?
I got a
You're
lot of
good.
predictions. I got a lot of them.
You are good. No, yeah. I wasn't even thinking about that, to be honest. But I'm wondering how long it will take Kellyanne to figure it out, too. I'm wondering how long it'll take her to, like, whether she has to see it with her own eyes of the two of them sneaking around, or whether she instinctively knew that Teresa was lying, so she's going to go straight to the DA and be like, listen.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And we see her in the next episode, I believe, so with the preview that they gave us.
Yeah, the previews are always amazing. I mean, it definitely leaves you hanging.
It helps with predictions, though.
Yes, it does.
Like, oh, that character's in this episode. Oh,
Okay,
good,
so
they're
something
still
like
alive.
happening.
Yeah,
they're
something
good.
happening.
They didn't die.
Oh, something goes on. We have Mandy back saying, I think that DA agent is going to kill Wedo.
Oh. Well, they are. I mean, we can talk about that, too.
Yeah.
I mean, Camila was gracious and decided to, honor what Teresa requested because she saved her life of letting Guido go. But, I mean, do you think he'll get out, or do you think that he's actually going to get killed by the DEA agent?
I could honestly see it. I just don't see...
I don't see Guido going far.
I don't see him going far, like, distance-wise in the episode, and I also don't see him going far, like, character-wise. I feel like the only reason that we have Guido in the storyline is to serve as Teresa's weakness. And other than that, I don't see anything else. At the beginning of the episode, I thought maybe they're going to add a, like, James and Guido kind of buddy up situation.
The dynamic
yeah,
duo.
kind of like they were at odds and now they're together. But obviously that didn't last long because James eventually opened his eyes and saw him for what he was. But, I wouldn't doubt it if maybe next episode or I would say give him till, I know I keep giving Guido like till the next episode.
Till the next episode.
But again, I have to say it, I think till this next episode, I think that's going to be the end. Camila's given him the go-to, like the right away to leave and not get killed, which is always nice.
Very gracious.
Very gracious of her.
But wait, in the preview, did we see him go to Chicago with them?
Because
the preview does say, oh. That's why we saw her crying by the plane.
Teresa crying by the plane?
When was she crying by the plane? Oh, in the trailer? Thank you, Nicole. But I don't know when was she crying?
Nicole's telling us that she saw her, I'm assuming Teresa crying by the plane.
I think James will take over the storyline and then turn into her weakness. Oh, I like that. I like that.
We have Forsyth. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Saying, I think James will take over that storyline and turn into her weakness. Honestly,
agreed.
I would prefer that.
Yes. Because to be honest, like I feel like it's a kind of crappy weakness. Like, I don't see any heat between Teresa and Guido.
No.
Like, even with the kiss, I feel like it was just kind of like, it's like an ex-boyfriend that keeps coming back into the picture, that like it's comfortable.
But he's like, at this point, he's like the puppy dog ex-boyfriend that she's constantly having to take care of.
Yeah,
constantly
exactly.
having to save him.
But at the same time, you're not ready to let go of him, or you still care about him, whether or not you like have that heat anymore. It's like,
but I honestly think that she still cares for him just because she never really had a chance to process and mourn her feelings for him. It was like, Guido's dead, or so we thought he was. Guess what? Now you're in the cartel and thrown into all these crazy situations. Oh, guess what? He's back.
Alive.
Yeah, he's alive. Oh, but you're a completely different person than you were at the beginning. So I think it's more so like her kind of like processing and like wrestling within herself, which I'm hoping we'll either see a scene of that or like they'll imply that she's over him. I know she's mentioned before, like, it's business, but her words aren't really matching up with her actions.
True. But I just still see more of a spark, or maybe I'm wanting to see more of a spark between James and Teresa.
Oh, I want to see it completely.
Yes.
I love them together. I mean, they're perfect looks-wise. That's always great. They look great together. They work well together. He respects her and respects her leadership and, like, sees her talent. Which I think is very rare. He doesn't just see her as like, oh, she's just another girl, or like she's just on the side, or she's a stupid girl that works for Camila. They're equals in that sense, which always makes for a perfect
I love equal
partnership,
dynamic,
romantically or like just business-wise.
That's why I think they'll leave Guido in Chicago. Oh, I do think they'll leave Guido in Chicago.
Yeah.
But so far, like, I assumed that they were going to Chicago. I thought that's what I saw.
They mentioned Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, who knows? We've got a lot happening next week.
Or maybe if they don't leave him, he'll choose to go off and leave. There's a lot of other cartels like Widow could join if he really wants to be in the game.
Or maybe he'd be smart and just get out of the game and just live comfortably.
He needs to go to Costa Rica like he wanted to and just go on the beach.
And just stay there. He knows how to fly. Just find a jet. Fly away, you're fine.
Exactly, and hope that it doesn't have explosives on it this time.
This is true.
Yeah,
yes,
that would be nice, because there ain't no DEA to save you, Widow.
Positivity.
Yeah, I'm hoping
Nobody
that he'll
cares
get out.
about Guido.
Oh.
In my opinion, he's selfish.
He's just, Mandy says, in my opinion, he's selfish. He just left her. James, on the other hand, actually has put her ahead of himself. Exactly.
Yes.
That's what I've been saying.
Thank you, Mandy.
Widow
we love
is
you.
very selfish. I think... I was in, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I forgot your Twitter username, but the woman on Twitter who had these amazing theories about like James and Teresa and Widow and that whole love triangle. I mentioned like, yeah, I see that Widow loves Teresa, but it's convenient for him to love her.
Yes.
It's not out of like selfless love. To me, it's like, oh, I'm going to love you because you're going to offer me all of these opportunities. Now seeing where she's at and how much she's trained. But I mean, you know, who knows if the DA is going to get rid of him, if he's just going to choose to leave. I guess we'll just have to wait for that one for the next episode. Yeah. But we also have Camila doing business with Devin Finch now. Which
I love.
You have a tie to.
Yes,
yeah.
So I love the show. Shout out to the show Bosch on Amazon. But he was one of my favorite characters on that show. So when he came in, I was like, yay! Because he's fantastic, guys. So he's an amazing actor. I know he's going to bring like so much to the show. So I'm excited to see what this character
you've seen him. Is he a main character on Bosch?
He is. He was Bosch's right-hand man. He was his partner and ended up like, you know, really playing a crucial role in the show. So he is so much like range that I think he's going to be an amazing like contribution to the cast. And
it's Jamie Hector, right? Okay, or Jamie Hector, I wrote it down.
He's fantastic.
Oh,
so,
that's awesome.
Yay, love you, Jamie. Just
ready
shout
to
out.
bring
You
in
got
that
a
new
fan
character.
here.
Yeah, and I think that just based off of what you're saying, like he has like notability with Bosch and people know who he is. I thought that at first he was going to be just like a side character that we saw for like a few episodes, kind of like how like the lawyers and everybody else are kind of just like minions. But I think just based on like who he is as an actor, I think that he's going to play a much more crucial role to the next few episodes of the story.
At least I think so too. I think he might actually become a close partner or confidant to Camila within her business, from what I can read.
But do you think that he'll voluntarily choose that, or he'll be forced into it?
I think he'll be forced into it. I don't think he's I mean, he seems like the character Devin Finch reads to me as like a very like clean-cut character. Like he's made his millions, billions, however much money this man has, and is $250,000 for a 10-minute meeting. Yeah. Like, I need to have that job. I want to have that much money for my first meeting.
Seriously.
But I mean, for charity. It wasn't even for him. It was for his charity. So to me, it reads that he's very much like an entrepreneur. He's very focused and very clean. But because he completely brushed off the idea, and I'm sure he knew exactly what Camila was implying.
Everyone knows who she is, yeah.
So he's turned her down, and I don't think Camila Vargas is used to being turned down. So I think that he's ultimately going to get pushed into it. But once he does, like, guy's good at making money. I could see him being like a good, solid, like, partner in a sense.
Good guy goes bad kind of situation. Yeah.
It's a taste of the cartel. It never goes back.
Turning the power around.
But we'll see. I don't know. I have no idea. We've only seen him for like a minute, 2 minutes out of the show, and then the teaser. So
yeah, or maybe he'll be like that fight for her, that kind of like pushback for her in the next few episodes. You know.
Yeah. I mean, so far the only solid person she has outside of her like trio is King George.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old King George.
King George, but he's not like a solid confidant to have either.
He just kind of like fickle. Jumps in and out. Yeah.
He's like one of those friends that like they say keep your friends closer, but your enemies closer. Keep your friends close, enemies closer. That's it. That's
I knew what you meant.
You saw where I was going with that.
I saw it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'd love to see more of King George. We're actually surprise, guys. So we actually have King George, Ryan Onan, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. He's going to be joining us next week here.
Yay! I love that noise. That's great. Can we do that noise again?
One more time.
Yay! Sorry. I love that. I don't know why.
It's the best. So he'll be here up here on the panel with us to chat. Make sure that you guys hashtag AFTERBUZZ TV QOTS with your questions for next Thursday. And we will ask him whatever you want to know. He's also a writer on the show, so he's got a lot.
Last episode, the one that was crazy with El Santo was written by him. Yeah.
So he's gonna have a lot of insight, I think, and just like character depth that maybe we haven't picked up on to share with. That'll be interesting.
I'm
to
excited
talk about.
for that.
Yeah, because like interviewing actors is fun, but it's always even more fun to talk to like
writers,
directors and writers and producers.
Because they move the puzzle pieces. The actors are the puzzle pieces, and the rest of them are the ones moving them in place. So it's so like, it's just so cool to listen to them talk.
Best,
I'm excited to have them. So
it's gonna be fun. I mean. And then last thing, I feel like we've covered most of the episode. It's a pretty quick one. Is the DA and Epifanio are now joining forces, and as I said at the beginning, he talks about Mexico is kind of. Or Mexico, or Epifanio, who considers himself all of Mexico, apparently, is coming over to the
very
U.S.
highly of himself.
He's bringing the battle over. And I like the line that they threw in. Hold on, I wrote it down because I wanted to get it exactly.
I'm waiting for it because I loved that line.
Build a wall, but the violence you see in Mexico is coming.
When he said build a wall, we both went.
We're like, we know what that's implying. Again, we've talked about it before. The writers are always throwing in social issue conversations and that.
It's great.
You got to, and I think it's amazing the way
they shot this a while back though, so the fact that it was like didn't they wrap at the end of last year?
Yeah, but the wall
conversation was already going on. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, because I was like, wait a second, didn't that just No, but I like that they're Mexico's coming full force. There's a lot of power over there. In the story and in real life. I didn't know if anyone knew where I was going with that. Got some pride there.
Yeah, a lot of pride.
Of course.
Families from Mexico. Love it. But, we have Epifanio joining forces with the DA and trying to take over Camila completely, which will be interesting to see if he stays in that power. I don't think he will.
I don't think he will either.
It's going to last like 2.2 seconds.
I think they're smart. I think the DEA is smarter than that to realize it's a very loose liaison. They're trying to use him in order to get to Camila, and then they'll like shoo bye bye. We don't need you no more.
I feel
Yeah.
I feel like we've mixed in a lot of predictions already within like talking. Do you have
AfterBuzz TV predictions?
I love all the noises tonight.
Oh,
it's
I like this. This is new. That was a new one. I liked it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was great.
That was a cool little. Just really quick. Do you have? I feel like I gave all of mine already, but
you
do
had
you
great
have any?
predictions.
Thank you.
It was amazing.
Thanks.
Like I agree with all of them.
So encouraging. Oh, look at that. Oh, we're on the same wavelength here. Usually we got some like opposite ones.
Which is great. It makes for a dynamic show. But I definitely like this. It was a very straightforward episode.
Yeah.
It was. And it was a great episode. Like, I loved it. But it didn't leave too much wiggle room for like overarching predictions just yet. I feel like
it was like one of those setup episodes. Yeah,
it was a very much setup episode, and I think I'm very interested to see where things go in Chicago, and we'll leave it at that because I have no idea. Like, I kind of touched on it a little bit with like Devin Finch and where that'll go, because especially with like having an airplane company is prime trafficking for Camila, so I think that's going to be her next asset that she's going after. And then interested to see if Queen of the South moves up north for a couple episodes.
Maybe. I like that they're going kind of out of Mexico, out of Dallas for a little bit. And
when they come in LA bound here.
Oh, that'd be an interesting. Maybe next season.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Well,
we're still south, right?
Yeah. We're south.
We're south. Southern California.
It works, guys.
It works.
I mean, they went up north. They can go to the west a little bit.
Yeah, come on over.
I think it'll happen. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. As I said at the beginning, my name is Leslie Ambriz. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at In Less Than No Time.
And thanks, guys, for tuning in tonight. Again, my name is Candice Cruz, and you can find me on all of my social media at Candice R. Cruz.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Bye. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.